Hi, I'm Zoe with Glitter Magazine. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? How was the week? How's the month, the year so far for you?
I'm well. It's pretty
Yeah.
sunny here in California, so I'm
Okay,
very
yeah, yeah.
grateful for that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just
The
gonna
sun
start.
helps, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah,
Where are
yeah.
you located actually?
I'm in LA. I'm in LA right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
the rain.
Yeah, yeah. Yo, the couple days of rain, I was like, okay. We're
Yeah,
so spoiled in
I know.
California.
Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna start jumping into some questions. Congratulations
Absolutely.
on your
Thank
film.
you
It
so
was
much.
absolutely beautiful.
Oh,
Uh,
thank you so
I enjoyed
much.
watching it myself. What can you tell us about your character, Bobby Rush?
Bobby Rush was one of the co-founders of the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party. He was also the Deputy Minister of Defense. So he was, he was Fred's right hand. He was right there. He had it's a lot. I mean, he's only 23 years old when Fred was assassinated, and you start to doing your research on him. You're watching videos, and you're reading as much as you can, and it always hits you in your chest when you find out how young they all were, and how they were able to accomplish so much at such a young age. And it's every time I talk about it, I get emotional because you just think about like, wow, what was I doing when I was 21? But yeah, Deputy Minister of Defense and one of the co-founders of the Illinois chapter, which you see in the film.
Absolutely. That's amazing. Obviously, it means a lot to you. Can you tell me more or elaborate why it means that like films like Judas are made? Why that's important to you?
Um, there's there's a litany of reasons, but I think the biggest one is that the 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 um the information that we have on the Black Panther Party, it doesn't exist in our the books that we read growing up, and that is by design. They have sort of been wiped from, the books, that we read. So I'm so thankful and blessed to my beautiful parents who educated me on the Panther Party growing up, because if I left it up to school, I wouldn't know anything about them. And so this is just such an important story to be telling, at this moment. And you see sort of there's so many parallels to today, in the fight that we continue to be on. I mean, 52 years ago, Chairman Fred Hampton was assassinated in his sleep, minding his own business. And just last year, Breonna Taylor was assassinated in her sleep, minding her own business. And in both cases, there was no justice. So we have come a long way, but how far have we really come? Because it just seems that, every step forward we take, I feel like we take 100 steps back, and it's not by our doing, it's by, the powers that be. And so it's high time that stories like this happen, but more importantly that they create the conversation that can lead to tangible change. Because it's one thing to create the conversation. I think we keep having a conversation, but we really want a tangible change. So hopefully that this is a film that can sort of ignite, that spark that could possibly make that happen.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. Um, do you have any favorite scenes from the movie?
Wow. It's so incredibly shot by Sean Bobbitt, and our director Shaka King is a visionary. So there are just so many scenes. I think a scene that really that I really enjoy, is the scene where Deb and Chairman are just in the bed, just talking, and they're just smiling. And it showed the innocence, of these 20-year-old kids, these 20-year-old, 18-year-old kids, who are tasked with such, um, just an obligation to the community. But it was just such a beautiful moment that you don't really get to see in film, that I thought was so important to have in there. And it's something that every time I watch it, like it makes my heart smile, because it's like you have to remember that they're people too, and truly incredible human beings. But you just also are like, wow, like they're kids. Um, so that scene always hits me in my heart. I mean, but there's so many scenes that are just like, I mean, his speech for one, like the "I'm a revolutionary" speech in the church. I remember when we filmed that, I had my back turned, and he did it the first time he did it, Daniel did it, and then he walked away. And I remember thinking to I had chills all over my body. And I was like, oh my goodness. And they were like, do you want to see any of it? I was like, absolutely not. I want to see it when everybody sees it. Because it's one of the greatest things you'll ever see on screen. It's truly, it's a transformative moment for Daniel. And it's out of this world.
Yeah, that's amazing. All of the emotion is so raw in that film, and it
Yeah.
really speaks to you in a deep way. What was it like working alongside Daniel and Lakeith?
An absolute joy. I think I said earlier, in an interview earlier, there the term, I think people say, well, it's like oh, it was like working with family. The word gets thrown around very loosely, but this genuinely was a family, where we are a family, and we'll be a family for the rest of our lives. But you see Daniel and Lakeith, I mean, it is a trickle down effect, right? So you're going to the captain of the ship is Shaka, but you have Daniel and Lakeith, who are just so extraordinary as actors, and to watch both of these men um, transform themselves and to give themselves to every second that they were on set is inspirational. And he learned a lot about leadership, um, being leads of a film. I learned a lot from them about how you can give everything you have to this thing, and also still stay connected to the people that you are working with, and understanding the community aspect of it. So working with Daniel and Keith was an absolute joy, and one of my favorite experiences ever in this town, because they truly are like supernovas. And it's gonna I mean, if when other actors get an opportunity to work with them, I hope they run to that, because they're just special. They are just special, and we need to protect them at all costs.
Absolutely. Do you feel like you grew as an actor, or how did you grow after this project as an actor and an artist?
I absolutely grew. It I say that this film, we left this film. I left with scars from it that I'm glad will never go away, because I need to always be reminded of what this experience meant for me. I feel as though, I felt like I became a man on this set, because it was there's just there it was such an obligation that comes with being chosen to be a vessel, um, and to be telling this story, and so this just such a tremendous responsibility, and it's almost one of those, you can't go back now to what you were before, and what I was before filming this as an actor, as an artist. um, it's hard to say what it was, because I'm so now embedded in what I am now, since. But I do know that I wake up every day thinking about this film, and thinking about what it means to be a part of something that is so much bigger than an individual. And so it's something that has stayed with me from the second I rapped to this very moment in this conversation, and that will continue on. And I'm so happy that it did, and that I got to be a part of it, because it's just so much bigger than me. So I absolutely am changed, but I'm absolutely changed for the better.
That's great. That's really, really great to hear. Obviously, you touched on some of the things happening today and how they resonate with the
Mhm.
film. How does the film resonate for you with the current Black Lives Matter movement?
Oh, wow. In the summer of 2020, I went to as many marches and protests as I could, and felt so empowered by just the just how I don't know. It's weird. I get emotional even speaking about it because you're sitting out there and you're sitting on marching the street with these people, but you're marching with people who look like you and then people who don't look like you, and that is what Chairman was preaching: unity. And everybody being on the front line, and everybody that this fight for real equality, um, it does not look like one person, one individual. It looks like a collective of people. And so I think I've heard a lot often people speak about this idea that there are two Americas, and there are not two Americas. There's one America where Black and brown people are not treated fairly. And I think that if we keep saying that there are two Americas, it's allowing people to hide behind the idea that, well, I'm a part of this good America and let's forget about this other America. No, we need to address the fact that we live in this one America that does not treat people who look like myself and you fairly and justly. And so with the movement, I hope that this film inspires and continues to inspire, because I saw the next generation out there. You got kids from 5 years old to 80 years old out there in the streets fighting, and it's like I just hope and pray that that was not a moment, that this is the continuation of the movement, because it doesn't stop. Just because when a pandemic ends, and whenever it does end, that doesn't mean that this stops. This is actually just the beginning. And I think that some beautiful strides were taken this past summer, but we got a long way to go. And I hope that this film sort of pushes that along, because it's time for some tangible change and not just conversation.
Absolutely. And can you tell us what's next for you?
What's next? I have a film coming out on February 19th called Silk Road, which is a story of Ross Ulbricht, who started this selling drugs on the dark web. And about this, I know a lot of people don't know about it, but it's actually an extremely fascinating story. Um, so I got that coming out, and then I have the Fear Street trilogy that will be coming out in the summer for Netflix, which is an R.L. Stine um, group of books, young adult books, that's incredible. And then I wrote a film that we're going to get off the ground this year called Molly and Frank, which is a love story that just so happens to be two Black leads. So we're trying to change the narrative in Hollywood that you can't just love us for our trauma, you need to love us for our everything.
Well, thank you so much. All
No,
your
thank you so much, Zoe.
beautiful.
Seriously, thank you.
Thank you for taking the time out to speak with us, and I wish you the best in your
Oh,
endeavor.
it was my pleasure, Zoe. Thank you for having me. Seriously. Have an
Hope you
incredible weekend. Get out in that sun.
have, you too. Have a good
All
one.
right, Zoe. Have a good one.